Okay, let's have a sesh on a paper 1. So this is an A-star paper from a few years ago. Want to go through the bigger questions on this and just see how it's done. Right, so we're going to skip question 1 because somehow a mark was dropped here. It's just a simple ratios question. So we'll move on to question 2. Question 2 is the 4 marker. And what I love here is that 4 out of 4, obviously, this got. But you'll see in the examiner's mark, it says clear evidence and explanation, because that's exactly what you need to do on these data 4 markers. You need to show evidence. You need to exactly reference numbers from the extract. In this case, extract A. And if possible, go one step further and make a little calculation. Here they've made a little calculation about how many customers Barclays have lost. That's just a simple subtract. So that's what you need to do, clear evidence, and just explain what that evidence means, and that is going to bish, bash, bosh your way to 4 out of 4. And you can see down the sides, app, that means application, analysis, application. Lovely jubbly. Now we're going to look at question 3. Question 3, the key thing here is that it's a 9 marker. 9 marker being basically explain something using a diagram. So obvs, you need to put a diagram in to start with, and you can see the diagrams right there. In fact, in this question, actually 2 diagrams have been used as we get to page 3. That's not always necessary, but if you feel it is necessary, then you can do it. But you need to make sure you have 1 diagram here. And you can see this diagram here, they've just whipped out a supernormal profits diagram. And we can see with another diagram here, where essentially prices have lowered because the barriers to entry have lowered, so they've just got increased competition. But remember, the 9 markers just really needs 1 diagram and full explanation, but if you want to do 2 diagrams with explanation, of course that's fine. And we see in the examiner's comments it says sound, analysis and application, and accurate diagrams. So it's level 3 and it's 9 out of 9. Lovely stubbly, lovely stubbly, lovely jubbly. Let's move on to the big one. Okay, so the thing that I absolutely love here is that before the question has been answered, a plan is there for the yes and the no points, the for and against points, the pros and the cons. I don't know any other options for them. But anyway, all of it's listed there, and you can see the examiner has wrote those 4 letters of S-E-E-N, seen, because it's been seen with their eyes. So we can see the yes and no. You've showed clearly that you have planned out your answer. And this is extra special because when you're doing the first paragraph of 25 markers, it's really important to show the direction you're going to go in with your conclusion at the start. So you're just giving a feeler. So in this question, it's been answered. The banking sector has obviously seen a substantial problem recently in terms of outdated technologies and extensive power of the Big Four. Therefore, the government should intervene to promote competition in the banking sector. And in fact, you can see on the side they've given it KU, which is a bit of a mistake because it should be EV, it should be evaluation, because clearly a judgment has been made straight off the bat. And that's exactly what I want you to do. Let's move on to the next page. That would be page 4. So the game really with these 25 markers is to have first paragraph answer the question and then make juicy paragraphs that basically go analysis with application and hopefully end it with evaluation, and then just move on to your next point and rinse and repeat. So analysis, application, evaluation, rinse, repeat until you get to a conclusion. And this is in the rinse repeat stage. So we've got 2 points here that have been made that are benefits of the question. Let's move on to the next page. So again, we can see here, rinse, repeat. We've got down the right hand side, application, evaluation, analysis, application, analysis, evaluation, analysis. Lovely stuff. All the skills needed, and the diagrams are very neat, although I would like for you to make sure that when you do your diagram, just have figure 1, figure 2, figure 3, so you can reference to it. And also when you write figure 1, say if it was this diagram here, figure 1 showing the supernormal profits that have been made by whatever business it is, and it looks like they're saying that supernormal profits have been made, so therefore they could become dynamically efficient. Let's move on to the next page. So we've come out the rinse repeat stage, and now we've got one last analysis, application, evaluation. That's just absolutely a textbook. And then we're getting on to the conclusion. So to conclude, the government should intervene further in the banking sector. So pretty much there, that is the question has just been rehashed and it's been answered directly. To conclude, the government should intervene further in the banking sector, because that's what you need to do. You need to answer the question. After that, we've looked at other points. So for consumers would benefit from lower prices and better quality service, so that's the justification. But it's shown a bit of a key flaw, because despite the possible government failure, so appreciating that there could be government failure. And then finally, this is actually a textbook AJKO, because it's looked at short-term, long-term, and it's gone for the idea that in the short term, consumer inertia could exist, but in the long term, hopefully this consumer inertia will be eroded, and so actually it's definitely the right way to go for the government. So a lovely 25 marker, scored big marks. Let's move on to section B of this paper. So section B starts with a 15 marker, and then obviously you'll have a 25 marker after that. So this 15 marker has been answered in one page, and they've managed to get 12 out of 15, so mid-level 3. The analysis says well-focused and sound analysis with accurate diagram. Shortfall is not explained how Gini coefficient is calculated. So just the classic thing, 15 markers, definitions, diagram, 1, you can see it there, and then application. And then the critical thing is that you have depth of analysis, and depth of analysis means just trying to explain everything you know about the thing that is in the question, in this case the Lorenz curve and the Gini coefficient. Let's move on to the next page. Oh, I just love it. So started the question with wealth inequality, income inequality. Split the question out. Lovely, lovely, lovely jubbly in a plan. It's exactly what I want you to do. The examiner's seen it because they've put seen. And then whip straight into the question. Both income inequality and wealth inequality are significant problems and can have damaging consequences to the UK. However, it must be argued that wealth inequality is more damaging for the UK. So we have straight out answered the question, set the narrative for your essay, and then of course your conclusion. Conclusion? Definitely your conclusion. Let's move on to the next page. Rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. Rinse, repeat. Analysis, analysis, evaluation, evaluation, knowledge, analysis. Lovely. All the skills administered. Let's move on to the next page. Rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. Analysis, evaluation, analysis, evaluation. Lovely. And then we'll finish off with the conclusion here, and clearly it lines up with the initial introduction. To conclude, wealth inequality has more damaging consequences for homelessness. Income inequality has negative consequences, but there is much greater state help with this issue. It's a pretty wet response. It's not enough, it's very thin, but the analysis, the application, the evaluation throughout the essay has helped it stay in level 5, and you can see with the analysis, sound, focus, analysis and application, although more wealth inequality than housing evaluation is supported throughout level 5. But it's got 22 out of 25, and this is an A-star paper by an absolute mile. You can do it.